can't come over because, again, there's just not the room. That's why they used the Roman used that particular weapon, because it's better for what they're doing. The slice can just as easily kill, decapitate, and all other shit, right? Yeah, it takes a bit more, but I hit one of these two bad boys, or I hit right up in there, you're still just as dead from a stab or from a cut. Not all stabs are in-game. And I know they know this, but the way they were saying it. But again, the other armies are used to, as they call it, in the mud and the blood. So yeah, they're using their big axes and their big swords for some pure tactics. And that was also the berserkers slamming the swords, biting out and all this crazy shit, hoping the guy doesn't come over and kick it into their face to freak you the fuck out. So yes. But again, if I chop right here, still this is dead if I stab you there. Alright, yeah, there are several death stabs. But again, you can see the problem with this particular thing. The larger weapon isn't the problem in one-on-one combat. The larger weapon becomes an issue in aligned formation. And the reason that Shaka, and I'm sure Hannibal, and also Hannibal was more known for his attacks with elephants, but whatever, but the ground assaults were done the way they were done, is because there's more range. I mean, there's more effectiveness in the confined space you have there, because you've got your buddy next to you here, your other buddy here, and you can hit their guts, or you can be best friends, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't want to hit them. They're saving your ass, and especially the guys behind you don't want to hit. And that's also probably why the Pincer was so deadly, is the way Romans have their thing. Because they're, you know, backing up, and their whole protection is forward. Like their armor, they don't even have greaves or anything. I mean, their feet are protected, and they got that metal skirt thing, and their body's protected, and they've got this big shield for everything. But, oh yeah, my legs, my, you know, but, yeah, you just walk up behind me, like, poke. And I know you're saying, well, it's not that easy, but, you know, you've seen the pincer movement. Move back, move around, poke. Which is why it was probably effective as it was, because they're used to this forward protection, go forward thing. But there are people like that to protect against arrows and stuff. But there wasn't a thing set up for when something comes behind you. Which is probably why England had the better armor in that scenario, because they're protected head to toe. Because they realized, oh shit, somebody's gonna fucking hit me back. And yes, I know there were bits and pieces that you could stab through, you can half sword and whatnot to get through that, because the chainmail is effective in certain areas and not so much in others, but you get the whole point. Anyway. And why the British kept their still, like the long sword and whatnot instead of, and they did have the short sword, but it wasn't like their main defense thing. The Italians and whatnot, you know. But again, this wasn't just used because stabby stabby is more effective than slicey slicey, because that's not actually true. If I take your arm out, you're done. If I slice this one vein right in the leg right here, you're done. You on the ground. I don't give a shit how good you are. It's really fucking hard to when you can't stand. But again, yeah. The reason, again, they did what they did and the way they did it was due to this being more effective for what I'm having to deal with. Because I can only do maybe a fencer slice. A saber fencer slice, you know. Like maybe this. Or and I can't really get a full cut because, again, I gotta watch out for. I can't move my shield because if I put my shield down, I'm fucked, and so is the guy next to me. They're all better. Anyway, and yeah, and you know you're not really gonna move it out of the way anyway if you're using a shield anyway. That'd be stupid, but still, I can't really come back here because, again, this guy can't come over here because of that one, and I can't come over here because of that one and that one. You see, this is the stabby motion was done more because of ranks and what's next to you, because it's more of a group warfare thing. And yes, we found out later there were more effective ways to do things and other better tactics, and we changed from those tactics later because we found other ranges and other techniques that worked better. Well, for a sword that doesn't exist, this isn't badly made. This is pretty well made. For a made-up piece of shit sword. But again, the Gladius is effect. I don't know. Can the Gladius cut? I don't know. I've never actually held a Gladius, but I assume it could. I know it's got a stabby motion, and it has, like, no hilt at all. Like, there's no guard. I don't get it. But, you know, it's the way it is. I guess they figure the shield's good enough for your blocking, so you don't have to. But the reason why it's more of a stab is because I don't need a lot of range to do this. Like, at most, I'm going to come back here. As long as I'm not hitting the person behind me in the shield, it looks funny to be like, hey, what the fuck? It's still, and I'm not dissing the person who made the video because I like their work. I'm just saying that it's not because the stab is a more effective attack. Because there are stabs that are non-lethal. I mean, you can get stabbed. It fucking sucks, but you won't die from certain stabs. You bleed to death. Just saying. And there are certain slices where you are dead. It wasn't the effectiveness of the stab that made that instant death like that. And that's not what made them more the way they were. They were doing the tactic because of the situation they were in. You see, I'm doing a formation. And that's why you can throw tomahawks and all this other shit and these big long fucking swords if you're coming with guerrilla warfare. Or, yeah. And those also became tactics that were used later because we got used to the pincer and all those other things. When you're setting out for a pincer, but the guy's not there, and then he comes out of the woods out of nowhere, then oh shit, yeah. So yeah, the Romans were effective for a while. They got their asses handed to them by the Mongols. Of course, that wasn't the same Roman army. They're just, I don't want to get into it. Very different Roman army at that point. But still, the stabby isn't just a more effective attack. Slices can be good too. It's a combination of different things. It's like eliminating punches or kicks, or be only kickers or only being punchers. It's not one more effective than the other. It's just the situation they're in, right? Peace.